DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, Dre All Day. I was asked to talk about my top favorite scorers in the NBA. Who are the best scorers in the league? Well, the tough thing about this, looking at the top scorers list in the league right now, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. If I look at the top five, I guess you got to say those are the top five scorers. I mean, they're putting the ball in the basket, but there are different ways of getting the points. So when I say my top five scorers, I'm going to go KD, Melo, LeBron, Kevin Love, James Harden, and honorable mention Stephen Curry. So that's the top six. And that's the order of the leading scorers right now as of today. I'm recording this on December the 16th. So as far as getting the ball in the basket, I mean, like I said, in the NBA, if you one of the top five scorers, then you got to be one of the top scorers, period. I mean, you can't really discount that, and I can't push nobody above those guys who's not getting the points as much. It might be somebody who comes off the bench, like say a J.R. Smith, a guy who's someone who just comes in and gets a lot of points, who scores a lot, but I can't put them above somebody who's actually producing the actual numbers. If I was to think who is the actual best scorer, if I just need somebody to score a bunch of points in a game, who would I go with? I'll probably go with between Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony. They're the top two scorers in the league right now. They're just like the best bucket getters. Those guys just put the ball in the basket. Where you got a guy like KD who does a little bit more dribbling in the open floor. Of course, he shoots a lot of threes. He's a great shooter off the dribble. He gets to the foul line a lot. Then you got a guy like Melo. And even though these two guys play the same position, they got very different games. Melo is like a face-up guy. He shoots a lot of mid-range shots off the bounce. He's great at making them. And he's good at bullying guys down in the paint because he got such a strong body. He gets down in the paint and bullies guys, and he gets to the foul line as well. And Melo is going to get points no matter what team you put him on. He's going to put the ball in the basket from wherever you're getting him the ball, whether he's catching it down low around the block area and just bodying up and getting it in there, hitting his little J. He can, of course, handle it too. He don't handle it as much as Kevin Durant, but he can handle the ball when he needs to. And LeBron is third in the league in scoring, and I think he's the most underrated because if you look at the stats right now, he's only shooting 15.3 shots per game, and that's almost 2 fewer shots per game than anybody else in the top five. Nobody else is shooting fewer than 16.9 field goal attempts per game. He's only shooting 15.3, which is incredible, which means he's making so much of the shots he's taking. His efficiency when it comes to scoring is through the roof, and his field goal percentage is at 59%. Now, if I list the field goal percentage of the other five guys that are listed, you got 48, 44, 44, 44, and 46. So just to put that in perspective, LeBron James' field goal percentage is 10 points higher than anybody else in the top five in the NBA in scoring. That's a fucking crazy stat if you really think about the statistics. For those of you who look at stats a lot or have been for a while, when Shaquille O'Neal was in the NBA averaging close to 30 points a game, he was shooting 60% from the field. LeBron's shooting 59%. He's a small forward. It's not like he's just scoring all his points down low. He shoots mid-range pull-ups. He shoots three-pointers. He shoots fadeaways. This guy shoots tough-ass shots. He's only shooting 15 shots a game, making 60% of them, and third in the NBA in scoring. So honestly, if we want to talk about the best scorer in terms of who makes the most of the least when it comes to getting their points from the fewest amount of shots and being efficient, LeBron James is actually the best scorer in the league. He's actually making more of his shots than Kevin Durant or Carmelo Anthony, and they're both ahead of him. Another guy who gets a lot of points without taking a lot of field goal attempts, well, not, I wouldn't say not a lot, but the next fewest is James Harden, and that guy gets to the foul line. He's a dude who just lives at the foul line. He's one of them dudes, when you watch him play, he don't look that athletic. He don't look that quick. He don't look like he'd be that hard to guard, but then he's all of those things. Like, he can jump. He'll surprise you with his athleticism. He can jump pretty well. I actually played pickup with James Harden one day, and he was, all the stuff he's doing now, he was doing it. Like, that athleticism, you don't notice it. Like, he's gotten way better off the bounce as far as creating his shot, just using his ball handle. He wasn't doing so much of that a few years ago, but he's doing it great now. That one-on-one game he got. So he gets it in, he gets to the foul line. Like, he's probably leading the league in free throws next to Dwight Howard. I don't see this. I'm looking at the stats right now. Actually, Kevin Durant's #1 amongst the top 5 guys, and James Harden is next. And Kevin Durant shoots so many three-pointers. Harden shoots a lot of threes, actually. And Kevin Love is also another guy. I mean, when he came in the league, he was like this pudgy guy. He was good, but he was pudgy. But now he's gotten in shape. Now he's athletic. Not athletic. He's an athlete now. Let's put it that way. And his shot, I mean, the Timberwolves run plays for Kevin Love the same way that the Warriors run plays for Stephen Curry. They run plays for him as a guy they want to get open to shoot threes, and he's making them. He killed the Spurs last week. He had 42 points. He was just hitting threes everywhere. And Tim Duncan was running around trying to chase him down off those shots, but Tim Duncan's not used to guarding a guy that far from the hoop. And Kevin Love shooting threes like far from the hoop. Far from the three-point line. He's a couple steps behind the line, shooting step-back three-pointers with ease and making them, because those are the shots that he likes. So it's not like a power forward. You know, you see a power forward, maybe they like to shoot the long 18-footers, and then maybe at one point, for some reason, they end up behind the line and they toe the line and hit the three. Like Chris Bosh or somebody like that. Paul Millsap's a guy who hit a three or two. But Kevin Love is actually shooting them like a shooting guard would shoot threes. And so power forwards are not used to guarding that. And as a side note, I think if anybody got a chance of catching Stephen Curry's record for threes made in the season, I think Kevin Love is a guy who might possibly do that. I think KD's got a shot, but KD gets to the hole so well with his length. I don't think he's going to shoot enough threes. But I think Kevin Love, if he gets hot, if he gets a stretch, maybe a month-long stretch of really hitting them, I think he got a chance of catching Steph. I think Steph might break his own record, but I think the record that Steph set last year, Kevin Love could possibly catch up to it. So if I had to say who my best scorer was, if I just had to pick one guy to get a bunch of points in a game, I'm going to go with KD just because his ability to hit threes off the bounce, and that three's worth more than 2 points. Plus, he's leading the league. He's getting to the free throw line more than anybody in the top 6. I don't see Dwight Howard's name up here, but I think Dwight's taking the most, actually. But amongst the top 6, KD's number 1. Next guy, I'm going to go with LeBron James. I mean, LeBron James, he's the best player in the league right now, no matter what way you want to slice it. Some people try to come up with some other guy like LaMarcus Aldridge is playing great, Paul George is playing great. Like, none of these guys have the complete game that LeBron James has. He is the most valuable. He's the defender. He got the defense. He's got the passing. He's got the scoring, and he's won the last 2 championships. When it comes to scoring, he is the most efficient scorer in the league, and he's in the top 5. So it's not like he's only shooting a few times so his numbers stay up. He's in the top 5 in the league in scoring. And his efficiency is so much higher than these other guys, it's not even close. Defensively, you're not isolating on LeBron James. He's not a weak link. He is the strong link of the Heat's defense. He's probably their best rebounder also. Maybe not. He might not have an actual stat of rebounds. He probably does. He might not. But even if he doesn't, he's their best rebounder. He's their best defender. He's their best passer. And to top it all off, they won the last 2 damn championships. He is clearly the best player in the league. There's no way he's not the MVP already again, unless somebody else just starts playing absolutely lights out spectacular and he falls off, which I don't see either of those 2 things happening for him to not be MVP. So the only way he doesn't win is that the media just gets tired of voting for him, kind of like they didn't want to give it to him when he first came to Miami. Derrick Rose stole the MVP that year. Should have been LeBron again that year, maybe Dwight Howard. But LeBron's been the MVP the last 2 years, and he should win it again this year based on how everyone's playing so far. If it shakes out exactly as it's going so far through 20 or so games, he is the MVP. I would say he's the most efficient scorer. If I had to pick one guy to score a bunch of points, it's based on their playing style, because LeBron don't try to shoot as much as these other guys. I'm going to go with KD as the best guy as far as putting points on the board. Let's put it that way. So let me know what you think. Who are your top 5 scorers? You agree, disagree? Would you move the order around? Anything like that? Let me know in the comments. Work on your game. Dre all day.
This is Maria. I'm from Miami with GroovySweat.com. Work on your fucking game.